All right, prosecution and defense. This is a brief overview of your task log so you kind of know what assignments to expect as we move forward with the trial. You can see the very first thing that you'll be turning in on our task log is the project preview. So let's take a look at that. Very similar to our project that we did before. Just put the names of your prosecution or defense team. Tell me, what side you're on, prosecution or defense. And then verdict strategy, this is really only applicable to the prosecution. Of those four options to charge Lenny, what charge will you provide for him? So first degree murder, second degree, voluntary manslaughter, or involuntary manslaughter. And then if you're the defense, you would have to put not guilty by insanity. So that's really your only option there. That's pretty easy to do. Prosecution will have maybe a little bit more of a deeper conversation with their group on that one. All right, so that is the project preview. The next thing, you can see our due dates are a little out of order. So the next thing you'll turn in is a soapstone analysis. And this is where we look at an example of a closing statement or closing argument. And this will be a hard copy that I'll print for you. We're going to watch someone a real lawyer give their speech. We're going to analyze it together, and I'm going to teach you what soapstone stands for. And the purpose of this will be to help you be more conscious of persuasive techniques in your opening and closing statement. So that's what the soapstone analysis is. Next due date we have here would be our direct and cross-examination questions. This is going to be a first draft. So this is what that document looks like. You can see you type the witness's name there and the questions. You don't have to fill out all of these spaces. These are about 10 spaces. I would say anywhere from 6, 7, 8, but the most could be 10 questions depending on how many you need for your witnesses. So you'll have the 4 witnesses that you chose for your side for direct examination. And it's important to remember that in direct examination you cannot ask leading questions. Same thing for cross-examination. The other witnesses that you are not prepping beforehand, so the ones you did not choose, will go here, and you'll be thinking about the cross-examination questions you want to ask, trying to anticipate what they might say or what you kind of want to get out of that witness. So again, same thing, 6 to 10 questions to ask them and fill them out in this space. And the next thing you'll turn in is the opening statement and closing statement outline. This is the closing statement outline. You'll see there's a space for you to type your introduction, and there's instructions for each part of the closing and opening statement. Defense has a slightly different opening statement than the prosecution will, so those files will be available for you on Teams for you to look over there and see. Same thing for prosecution, a slightly different outline for the opening statement, but both sides have the same outline for the closing statement. Okay, and then once you've turned those in, the next thing you'll turn in is the revised direct and cross questions. And on that date is when we'll do our practice sessions with our guest attorneys who are coming in to give you some feedback on those. And then the next thing you'll turn in will be the final opening and closing statements before actually giving those statements in our trial. So yeah, that is the overview of the prosecution and the defense.